Please leave your secret after the beep. To later be played on the news if the keeper of secrets ever gets in trouble.
When the FBI raids my future office. Let's see. I'll read a little bit from what he did and why he's in trouble. It's not honestly the most important part of the story, believe it or not, because I really don't care if he goes to jail or not anymore. The Times reported over the weekend that prosecutors have been zeroing in on the potential bank and tax fraud violations related to Cohen's family taxi medallion business, citing people familiar with the matter.
That's a whole thing up here, the taxi medallion.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about it? Because other than just reading this.
The general idea is that taxi medallions used to be worth millions of dollars because it was what allowed you to get a taxi in New York.
Okay.
But of course, Uber and Lyft upended the market.
Right.
And now, like, people had their pensions and stuff invested in taxi medallions, and now they are not worthless, but
pretty much
not
worthless.
Anywhere near what they used to be. Yeah.
Wow. The investigators were said to be evaluating $20 million in loans the attorney obtained from 2 New York area banks to determine whether he misrepresented the value of the assets. They also looked into whether Cohen failed to report income from the taxi business to the IRS. Khuzami said Cohen failed to report $4.3 million in income over 5 years.
Oh my God.
And did not disclose $14 million in debt in a $500,000 home equity application.
This is what he got in trouble for? $20 million? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's it.
I got a much bigger loan from Russia and didn't disclose anything in my taxes. This is child's play.
Well, this, obviously there's more to it than him with bank fraud, and that's important, but I really don't care about that. What do you think about this, Austin, first of all, before we continue?
Oh, well, I mean, it is a gigantic development. And, I think I'll let Ben Shapiro say exactly what's happening here.
The ruse is up.
The ruse, you know what? That's a good one. Yeah. That's a really good one.
Yeah. It's, you're right, Mr. Shapiro. The ruse is up. And they have nothing to hide behind anymore. Not just Cohen, but Manafort. And I know we haven't got there yet.
We haven't.
But I'm just saying that it is, it's the jig is up. Which would have been a more interesting way to say it, Ben.
That he said, Cohen said, that he paid these women from the direction of the president, by the direction of the president.
To influence the election. That's campaign finance fraud.
Yeah. We're talking about that witch hunt, that quote-unquote total witch hunt that Trump always fucking tweets out.
Yeah.
It's like, how much more proof do you need? Now you have
somehow
his lawyer.
They keep getting guilty pleas.
Yeah, exactly.
And convictions.
It's a total witch hunt, but everyone's going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
That's not a witch hunt anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's justice. I don't think that's a witch hunt anymore.
Justice?
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
There's money all over the place, payments to these porn stars and these women, and then to influence the 2016 election. It's just crazy to me that this is happening. I mean, we were talking about this a little bit off right before we started the show, but like, what a crazy time to be alive.
I know. Yeah, it's funny because there used to be an old. There's a stand-up routine, and I can't remember who the comedian was, but he was like, young people don't get it because we lived through some crazy shit. We saw the president resign.
Yeah.
And get into a helicopter and just leave. And at the time, and even up until, I think, 2016, that was probably the most, insane thing that's ever happened in Washington. Just see Nixon just leave and be like, peace, I'm out.
I can't imagine what that's like.
But this is going to top that.
Eventually. Yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to...
whatever it feels like.
So what I've been following since we started our show, today at least, is a response from Donald Trump. This is a big deal. Michael Cohen. Just Michael Cohen. And we haven't gotten to Paul Manafort. We're going to in just a second. But with Trump constantly tweeting and tweeting and tweeting and tweeting, you would expect, he's going to go after this as a witch hunt. He still at the time of our recording, has not responded to this.
Seriously?
His last tweet was 7 hours ago, way before any of this was starting.
Yeah.
So it's funny how all of us, he has all these opinions and all these things, and then all of a sudden, when everything hits the fan all at once, he can't say anything.
Well, Tom, look, I'm not going to comment on everything that happens in the country. This isn't an important thing like a football player kneeling for the flag.
Yes.
Or, whatever else that
important.
I like to tweet about.
Yep. Michael Cohen is not important.
No.
How about Paul Manafort?
Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Mm-hmm.
Powell
Manaforte.
Manafort. No, I have no idea who that
No?
is.
All right, well, let me tell you about him.
Okay.
Paul Manafort.
Don't know who he is. Totally small-time guy who worked on my campaign who I don't know.
He was your former campaign chairman.
Look, he did about
Ring
as
a bell?
much as George Snuffleupagus or whatever his name is.
Okay. Maybe a little bit more. But
I don't
anyway,
think so. Look, I had Corey Lewandowski. He ran my campaign.
This comes from NBC News.
Fake news.
Manafort convicted on 8 counts. A mistrial has been declared on the other 10 accounts. By the way. by the way. Now, if you're listening
and not
to this
only
episode,
that, I believe that he is going to face more charges after this.
there is a chance. Yes, there is a chance.
So,
At this point, it doesn't matter, and we'll explain why in a second, too.
Yeah.
But a federal jury in Virginia convicted Paul Manafort. This one was in Virginia, so that's good job, Virginia, I guess.
Oh, I see how it is.
A federal jury in Virginia convicted Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign chairman, on 8 counts on Tuesday, but the judge declared a mistrial on the other 10 that he's faced. Manafort was convicted on 5 counts of tax fraud, 1 count of failing to file reports of foreign bank and financial accounts, and 2 counts of bank fraud, so tax and bank fraud. A mistrial was declared in 3 counts of failing to file reports on foreign bank and 7 counts of bank fraud and bank fraud conspiracy. The trial was the first public test of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, and while the special counsel was vindicted, the victory wasn't total. The jury deliberated for 4 days after hearing 12 days of arguments, evidence, and witnesses. And like I said, 10 are deemed a mistrial. However, the ones that were not deemed a mistrial, let's do a little quick math here, Austin.
Oh, quick math, my new cover band.
We have 5 counts of subscribing to false U.S. individual tax returns. That's 3 years each.
Oh.
That's 15.
Okay.
For math whizzes like myself.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, go ahead, keep going.
Next one, failure to file reports of foreign bank and financial accounts.
Gotcha.
That is 5 years. So that's 20 total.
Oh, fuck.
And then...
And he's already like 104, so this isn't great for him.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, continue, Tom.
Then 2 accounts of bank fraud, each at maximum of 30 years.
I don't have enough fingers to count that.
That is 80. That is 80. Now, let's take a guess at how old Paul Manafort really is.
I know it was in his 70s, I believe.
He is 69.
Oh, that's a funny number.
When he gets out of jail, he will be, let's see, 69 plus 80. He will be 149 years old. Or the year will be 2098.
Oh, shit.
You and I will both be dead by then.
Yeah.
So will he, by the way. Just saying.
I was going to say, wait a second, but he gets to live? Bullshit.
Yeah, he gets to live until he's 149. No, he's going to die in jail.
Tom, there's no evidence for that.
Oh.
There hasn't been any non-evidence yet.
Well, there might have been.
Okay.
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 Let's see. He was paid some $60 million over 10 years by a Russian-backed political party in Ukraine, the prosecution showed. And he evaded
What could that be
taxes
for?
on about half of that income by parking it in overseas accounts and disguising it as loans. But after his Ukrainian client, former President Viktor Yanukovych, fled to exile
Bless
in
you.
Russia in 2014, the spigot of cash turned off, and Manafort began defrauding banks to raise cash to pay for his lavish lifestyle.
Well, how else am I going to get this ostrich coat?
Exactly.
I can't afford that.
Austin,
Give me a loan.
In 1 day, two of Trump's former closest people, Michael Cohen and now Paul Manafort, have both been prosecuted and indicted.
Well, yeah,
in front of grand juries.
One pled guilty or pleaded.
One pled guilty, yeah. And
I'm not sure what the past tense of that is. And then the other was found guilty.
Right. So I'm thinking Michael Cohen is probably... I don't know the extent of the plea deal. I don't think anybody does really right now. I'm willing to bet it involves probably little to no jail time for the bombshell that he threw.
It's going to be better for him than it is going to be for Manafort, we'll just say that.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Manafort. And like I said, the mistrial on the other 10 means that there's a chance that he's going to be facing a lot more than 80 years in jail.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need 80 years. He needs maybe 10.
Yeah, and then he'd be dead.
He will be spending the rest of his life in prison. But yeah, let's answer this once and for all. How is it a witch hunt if all the people in this witch hunt are getting arrested?
That's a good question, yeah. It's a total and complete witch hunt. Mm-hmm. And it's very annoying that they keep finding all the witches I've been hiding.
Exactly.
I put them there for a reason.
We found your witches, Donald. Oh, Donald, I don't know. Is his time almost up?
The ruse is up.
I think I'll take that as my answer.
Yeah.
This is pretty exciting.
I know.
So we'll have more out as we get more information on that. But
and
for
basically,
now,
we'll say, like, Robert Mueller, good enough? Come on.
You would think so. But you know what? He's obviously very good at what he does. So he's going to build as big of a case as possible.
Yeah, well, and I have a feeling working that case is just like when you just keep finding stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to get this done, but
Yeah.
now there's like a million more things I have to worry about.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
like, all right, I think we got it. And then it's like, oh, no, now there's more.
Right. And then you got guys like Rudy Giuliani who probably just give Robert Mueller such a hard on because, like, Rudy goes on TV and he just spouts off this bullshit.
Well,
like the most recent one where he said,
Look, Tom, truth isn't truth, okay?
I mean, that's taken a little bit out of context. I understood what he was trying to say. Their truth versus his truth is different.
Isn't truth.
But truth isn't truth.
We've always been at war with East Asia. Always.
Oh, Rudy is the gift that keeps on giving. I love that man. He's done so much for this country and he doesn't realize it.
He's a great lawyer. I'm so
he's the
glad
best.
I hired him to speak for me on television.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how you know Donald Trump is terrible at making decisions. When you look at Rudy Giuliani's body of work and you're like, that's good enough.
Or just Rudy Giuliani's body of Rudy Giuliani.
Seriously. The guy is absolutely fucking dumb and off his rocker.
I know, he's like spoiled mozzarella in a suit.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. All right, so we got those two major stories out of the way. Let's end with a couple smaller, couple good ones, couple bad ones. You ready for this?
Stories, yeah, go ahead.
I got a good one here from Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, okay.
So Elizabeth Warren unveiled a anti-corruption plan, and she took aim at Trump. This all happened as well today, believe it or not. I read a tweet from her last night saying, "Be ready. I'm gonna put together something, and I'm gonna present it tomorrow." Well,
which sounds to me like I've been printing up all of my campaign signs.
Yeah,
Warren 2020.
Pretty much.
I don't know. It seems like a national political figure doesn't come out with these sweeping policy stances.
Oh yeah.
If they're not getting ready for
seriously.
Yeah.
It's just like local politicians. The ones who promise like we'll get our roads fixed and stuff like that. They don't get roads and bridges and stuff like that fixed until election time is up. And as soon as you see their names up for re-election, it's like, oh, all of a sudden there's a lot of road
it's time
work
to do
going on.
shit. Yeah.
It's just like that. It's literally just like that. But this is interesting. And now I don't know how it's going to play. I don't even know if it'll even get passed.